Hello and welcome back. In this particular video, we're going to go through and create the locator design in Autodesk Inventor. And we're going to go through and use some of the commands and features that we talked about in our lecture video. So first things first, I need to come up to New. And in yours, what I want you to do is select the standard millimeter IPT or part and create New. I'm going to go in and just go into my standard part here. And I'm going to go ahead and change the units before I start getting too far into this particular design. But it'll be good practice. You'll get to see how we can change units inside of a part. So on mine, I'm going to come up here to Tools, and you'll see that we have a document settings. I'm going to click on that. And then up here you have units. So I'm going to change my length ones to millimeter, and now I'm good to go. So if at any time you do start in the wrong part from the new menu, you can go back and change the units, so no big deal. All right, but for this locator, I'm going to go in and start a brand new sketch, and I'm going to select my plane here. And we learned about CSG, and we're going to kind of look at that and use some different basic primitive solids to make this part. And so I'm going to use the rectangle here and create my rectangle. It is 50 millimeters by 75. And I need to center this guy up here on my origin. And there we go. It's fully constrained. So I've got my rectangle sketch. I'm going to go ahead and finish that. And then I'm going to go in and use my extrude command here. And I'm going to extrude it up 15 millimeters. So right there, I have a primitive solid. I've got my rectangular prism. It's my base feature. Now we're going to go in and I'm going to use a cylinder, another primitive solid, to add to my design and continue fleshing out the shape of this locator part. So I'm going to start another 2D sketch, and I'm going to rotate to where I can see the bottom of my part here. I'm going to start my sketch on the bottom. Then I'm going to go in and start a circle, and I want it to be centered on this edge right here. So I'm going to click on the center point. And the nice thing here is we want it to be 50 millimeters. Well, we've already defined that with our rectangular solid. So I'm going to go in and I'm just going to click on the end point here for my second point of my circle, and it will fully constrain it. Since I've already designated that this side is 50 millimeters, I don't have to input that dimension again. Just by tying it in to that edge, I've made my circle 50 millimeters in diameter. So I'm going to go in and finish that. I'm going to rotate around here, do another extrude, and I want to make sure that I'm grabbing the entirety of my circle there. And it's going the wrong direction, so I'm going to flip directions. And you'll notice that Inventor automatically thinks that since I'm going into another solid that I want to cut. So we're going to change the Boolean operation back to join. And we're going to make this guy 40 millimeters tall. Now, you can see my locator design is coming together, and all I've done is use two primitive solids so far to create that. All right, next step, we're going to go in and we're going to use the hole command, which is a placed feature instead of a sketched feature. And what we're going to do, we want to select the very top of that cylinder that we just added in. I do that, and mine is set up right now as a threaded hole, so I just want to go back to the simple hole here. Now I can come in, and my box is down here, change that to 30 millimeters, and I want this to go all the way through my part. So I'm not going to create a distance for it to go. I'm just going to tell it to go through all. And you'll notice that it then goes through everything. Now, the last thing that I want to do is make sure that I've got this hole centered on my cylinder. And you notice when I move my mouse over the edge of my cylinder there, it gives me that little concentric symbol. So if I do that, you kind of see it shift there, but it shifted the hole and now it's centered up on my cylinder. Then I'm going to hit OK. And now we can see that it's going through my locator part there. All right. Next step, we're going to use the hole command again. This time, we're going to be making a 20 millimeter hole. Go ahead and just type that in. And we're going to place it on this surface here. Now, I need to locate this particular hole. And I can do it here from the hole command itself. And so what I want to do is come out and select this edge of the surface here. And you'll see it gives me a dimension. And I want it to be 30 millimeters from that edge. And now I'm going to come in and I'm going to select this other edge. It gives me my dimension there, and I'm going to select 25. Now I've got my 20 millimeter hole. I've got it 30 millimeters from this side, 25 from this side. I'm going to hit OK. Now, if you accidentally hit enter or the command closes on you, you didn't get both of those location dimensions in there, you can always just go back to your feature, right click, edit feature, and it'll take you right back into that menu. And you can make any changes that you need to. All right, so for this next one, I'm going to go in and I'm going to start another sketch. This time I'm going to do it on this face of my locator right here. Let's rotate my view back around. There we go. And I'm going to go in and I'm going to create another rectangle. I'm just going to start it at the top edge there and my second point there on the bottom edge. And we want to get this rectangle to where it lines up with our hole. So that means that it needs to be 15 millimeters from the edge there, and that our rectangle's width there needs to be 20. And so once you have that, then we can go ahead and finish our sketch. I rotate this guy here a little bit, and you can see that we've got it lined up here. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to extrude. I'm going to pick my rectangle right there in the center. It's going the wrong way, so I want to flip and have it go the other direction. But instead of just doing a regular directional extrude, we're going to do something different. So we're going to go to the to next option here for our distance, and we're going to select that. Thanks there for a second, and you'll see that it then extrudes back, and then once it hits the hole that I created, that extrude stops. So this is another way that we can use the extrude tool in order to have it adjust to other features we have in our part. But I'm going to go ahead and hit OK there. And we are done with that locator design. All right, that's all I had for you in this video, and I'll see you in the next one. And as always, be inventive.